Okay. All right, so tell me a little bit about yourself, sir.
My name is Stanley Morris. I'm very athletic. That's what got me in this place right now. And I do a lot of bike riding. I like to stay fit. Um, this is one of the bestest places I have been since I've gotten this injury. They help, they're very caring, and I have exceeded really fast since I gotten here. And I recommend this place for anybody that's injured or looking to be rehabilitated.
Tell me a little bit about your injury.
My injury, I sustained in August of last year, riding, coming back from a ride. I got cut off by a lady driving, wasn't paying attention. I hit my head. I already sustained injuries when I was in New York that when I had this accident, it reenacted everything back all over through my system again. And plus new injuries I sustained. Well, anyway, I had 4 surgeries in all: my knee, my neck, my lower back, and my left shoulder. And this place really pulled me out of it. I was in a bad place. I'm feeling 100%. Not really 100%, but I'm right on the iceberg of 100%.
Before your injury, what was daily life activity like for you?
My daily life activities before this injury was 50 to 60 miles a day riding, long walks, a lot of exercise. I did this when I was in New York also. It wasn't nothing new to me, but it was new to me down here with the heat, getting used to the environment. But I dropped 200 and something pounds because when I moved here I was 320. And when I had this accident, I was 194. So I gained a few pounds since the accident. So I'm looking to get rid of that too as well.
What motivated you prior to the incident in terms of your activity and riding so many miles? What was your motivation?
My motivation was I liked it. And not only I liked it, it was good for my body. And I know this was the most cheapest way of losing weight drastically if you're really into it. And it's a lot of fun.
Tell me a little bit about your injury that you sustained in New York.
I sustained my injuries in New York. I had broke my neck in construction. I have a plate in my neck. I have dislocated, tore my disc in my left shoulder completely. And I have 8 pins and 7 screws there. I sustained those injuries in New York. And it took a long time for me to recover, to come back from that, because New York in the wintertime, as you know, it gets cold, and when you have injuries like that, that's not a good place.
What was the limitations that you noticed, and what was the recovery like?
The recovery back in New York was good, but not as good as here. I don't know, it's the weather, it's the people, I tell you that much. And right here, the way I recovered here in this facility was one of the fastest, because I was enthusiastic of coming here and seeing everybody and doing the exercise and putting myself through the pain. It really paid off. I recommend this facility to anybody.
All right. So tell me, after the last major incident that you had, what were your limitations like right after, or go, if you don't mind, going through what occurred, like the accident itself.
The accident occurred when I was removing a stair tower. We was working in one of the largest water filtration plants ever built in the United States. And it started back in I think it was 1889. And they were starting it from the Adirondacks. The water was supposed to flow from Adirondacks through Mount Vernon, through the Bronx to Manhattan. And all that water was 100% filtered water. Not filtered, but nature filtered water. And we broke ground, and we finished it. We completed it, and my job was to put stair towers where the workers could go over, because there was channels being built, and these channels was about maybe 30, 40 feet high, and we had to build a bridge so these workers could get over to the other side so they could put up the walls. And I radioed in for the crane operator after we got the bridge hooked up, and he boomed up, and when he boomed it up, it was a little bit above my head. It's enough clearance, and I had turned my back, which I shouldn't have. But I was speaking to one of my co-workers that returned from a vacation, and he's like, "Watch it," and I'm like, "What?" And when I turned around, it just touched me in the top of my head. Felt like lightning hit me. And when it touched me in the top of my head, I just heard a crunch in my ears. And I just leaned over, and I'm looking 7 floors down. I had my harness on and everything, but my friend grabbed my harness to keep me from falling down. After that occurred, we have a facility on site, which is a hospital. I was seen by the doctor, told me to just quit work for the rest of the day. And when I went home, I came out the shower. My wife was like, "What's that on your shoulder?" And I was like, "What?" I just got out of the shower. What is on my shoulder? I'm looking, and it's like somebody threw grape jelly on me. But I was bleeding internally from my neck down to my shoulder, down to my arm. And when I got to the hospital, they told me I need emergency surgery because I had broke my neck. And I had tore my rotator cuff really bad. I didn't feel the pain then, but later on I did.
How long was recovery?
Recovery was close to 2 years.
Now, when you recovered, in terms of percentage, how much did you regain?
I regained on the movement of my neck. I can't turn all the way. So, therefore, on a range of my neck movement, on a percentage of 100, I probably got 85% of that back. It was not the whole 100%. My shoulder range of me moving my shoulder, right now I can move it, but it's painful sometimes, especially when it rains, and especially my lower back as well. Now, since I had this accident, my back has gotten worse. It wasn't like this before.
So tell me a little bit about the most recent accident. What was your lifestyle like before the most recent accident?
My lifestyle was good.
In terms of, activity?
My activities was great. I was 100% across the boards.
Okay. All right. And then, as a result of, what can you go through the occurrence, what happened with that injury? The most recent one?
Which is the one that just happened to me?
Yeah.
With, I was riding, I was on the sidewalk, and I'm looking down the road. I have a clear road shot. I'm riding, I'm not figuring that a car is gonna come out anywhere on the sidewalk. And I just glanced down to look at my speedometer, and when I was looking to come back up, she was right there. We just met at the same time. I couldn't stop. I stopped, but I just went right into her. And she slammed on the brakes, and I went flying. And the only thing I could think of was my shoulder. It's me not hitting my shoulder, and that's exactly what happened. I hit my shoulder so bad my skin was down to the white meat. I couldn't chew for a week. I had the worst migraine. It couldn't be matched with a migraine headache. Ringings in the ears. I still got ringing in my ear. And yeah, it could have been worse.
Currently, what would you say right now is your current level of activity or capability in terms of percentage?
Oh, my percentage of capable of activities right now is just very low. Right now, I'm really skeptical of going out. I tried it. I did it when I got my knee surgery. I'm gun ho. I want to get out there, and I went too far and I couldn't walk back. I had to stop at least 4 times before making it back home. So I won't try that again.
What was limiting you? Was it pain? Was it weakness?
The limitation of me walking that far was my knee and the sharp pains that I was getting from it. It hindered my ability to walk, to even put pressure on that side.
And what was the surgery performed on the knee?
It was a meniscus tear.
A meniscus, you said?
A meniscus tear.
Meniscus.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. How's sleep and everything like that?
Sleep was a wreck when this first happened to me. I haven't slept. Really, to tell you, I haven't slept on a total of 8 months since this happened to me. Really. I haven't slept a good sleep in a week for 8 months until I started to come here and see you guys. I didn't have no kind of therapy, I was just dealing with the pain until my lawyers like, go see my doctors, go see these doctors, and that's how this, but it went on for a year before I actually got seen.
Are you taking like medication for pain and so on?
I'm taking some medication for pain, but it's not actually for the pain. It's for the muscle relaxers and, to medicine just to get me back on my feet again. Really doesn't have anything to do with the pain.
What about, are you icing, any other kind of modalities?
Icing, a little stem. I got a little stem machine at home. I do that. I do my exercise. I try to stay on top of this as much as possible. Any little chance I get, I will lay on my back. I do my knee twists for my lower back. I do my arm, my shoulders, my neck. I turn my neck. I give myself a pull on each side. I go through this routine every morning.
So you're religious with your exercises?
Oh yeah, just like when I work out. I'm really gung-ho.
What would you say is your biggest, the biggest influence towards your road to recovery?
My biggest influence? This facility. You see a lot of people come in, some worse than you, and if they're here to do what they got to do to make themselves better, if that don't give you enough encouragement to do it yourself, then I don't know what will. And especially the staff that's here.
Do you have any words of encouragement to somebody else who has had like a traumatic injury, who's kind of just had a traumatic injury and they're going to go through this? Some words to kind of help bring them through.
Okay. The words I would tell you to help you on your recovery is self-discipline. And to find an outlet of doing a little bit of the exercises when you get home, because it don't need to be just done here. You could do them at home as well. If you feel a pain coming on, remember these exercises that they train in you, because you could carry it home and you could apply it more for yourself and you will start to feel more better. And when you come in, you'll be ready, you'll be ahead of the game when you get here and you move on to the next level. But looking at somebody else that have it worse than you, if that's not enough encouragement for you to take care of yourself and to do these things that the staff is telling you to do, you're on your way for recovery and a lot of prayer.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome, man.
All right. I appreciate it.